Welcome to another Q&A session for the best club in history, Real Madrid, hosted by Gaëlle. This is a Madridismo.org production.
Hello everybody, this is Javier. Gaëlle isn't here today because she's really busy and she can't do the Q&A session. So I'm going to do kind of an informal Q&A with Apakshit. Hello Apakshit.
Hello there.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you so much.
Okay, so how did you feel about the game on Saturday night?
I thought we played really well. We put 6 goals past Sevilla, and I thought it was a fantastic victory for us. But I thought the goal that we conceded, especially the first goal, was a cheap one. We should not have conceded that. And we should also thank Casillas for making saves after saves for us. I remember we were just 1-0 up, and he just pulled off a world-class save. And had Sevilla scored, psychologically, I thought the players would have got a boost, and the result could have been different. So I thought Casillas played a huge role, and I also thought that we did really well.
Yeah, those stops in the beginning really kind of could have completely changed the game, no? If Sevilla had scored in the beginning.
Yeah, true. We were just 1-0 up, and Casillas, he just pulled off a world-class save. He just stretched his body to the very maximum, and what an amazing save it was.
Okay, so what did you think of Sevilla's strategy against us? I read somebody saying before that Sevilla kind of parked the bus against Barca, and it worked for them. They got a tie, but against us, Sevilla came out attacking, and it didn't work, obviously.
Yeah, I thought that the strategy did not work for them. They were playing at home, and they wanted to win. But I thought defensively they were really poor, which was why we scored 6 goals. Not that we did not play well. We did play very well, but then I thought their defending was really bad.
Okay, do you think a team like Sevilla should play this way against us, or it's smart for them to park the bus and be defensive?
Well, I thought there was nothing wrong in playing the way they played. Especially at home, teams do tend to play the way Sevilla played. They wanted to win. It was clear for us to see. But then the only thing which they should always keep in their mind is that defensively they have to put in 110%, especially against a team like Real Madrid. Because we have players who can hit the teams on the counter. And the breathtaking pace with which we go forward is just amazing to see. So I thought there was nothing wrong in the way Sevilla played against us, but I also thought that defensively they were really vulnerable.
Okay, so did you think they maybe deserved a better result because their finishing wasn't so good, or it was because of Casillas that they didn't score more goals?
Yeah, obviously, because of Casillas, they did not score more goals, and I thought they did not deserve a better result because we played really well, and they also failed to take their chances.
Okay, so speaking of Casillas, he was pretty amazing. I think you'd agree. He had at least two or three great saves, especially the first one. And the first one, the player appeared to be celebrating even though he didn't score. It was like he started celebrating it, and then he realized that Casillas stopped it. And I noticed that in the replay. I was like, wow, that just shows you what a great save it was. So some people said that Iker should be canonized as a saint for all his great work. So basically, you'd agree with me that Iker had an awesome match, and that kind of maybe changed the way the outcome was in the beginning.
Yes, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. There's absolutely no doubt about it that Casillas was just amazing on that particular night. We were just 1-0 up, and had he not made that save, things could have been different, much different. So I think we should give him a lot of credit because he truly deserves it.
Okay, so let's talk about Callejon. He gets a starting spot finally in an important match. Do you think he responded well?
Yes, I thought Callejon responded really, really well, and he also scored a goal. And his off-the-ball movement is just amazing. The goal that he scored, the way he just goes in front of the defender, leaves him for dead, and then just gets a toe on the ball, and he scores, So I think Callejon is surely a player for the future. He has got real talent.
Okay, so you think that do you think he should start more matches, or we have so many talented players that he should start some matches, but he's not that good that he should be starting every match?
No, I think Callejon should start a few matches. He has proved himself now, and I think he surely deserves to start a few matches.
Okay. So, what about Di Maria? He had an assist to Callejon, he had an assist to Ronaldo, he had a goal. Could he possibly be considered for the Golden Ball next year? Is he playing that well, or is he not at that level yet?
Yeah, I thought Di Maria was absolutely amazing. His distribution, his work rate, his hunger and the desire to win the ball back when he loses it. As far as the Golden Ball is concerned, I think it is too early to say that, because players who are considered for the Golden Ball, they perform consistently, So if Di Maria starts performing consistently, then sure, yes, why not?
Okay. When I was watching the match in the first half, it really looked like the midfield was kind of broken. It didn't look very well organized on our end. Do you think we had control of the match? I mean, what did you think of that?
Yeah, well, in the first half, I thought the very same. Our midfielders did not gel along too well. And I thought had we had someone better in midfield, we probably could have scored more goals. So I think I think our midfielders have to get better. Ozil especially, he has been very, very disappointing thus far, and he needs to start playing better.
Okay, I was talking to my tennis teacher the other day, and he's a Barca fan, and he was kind of like, ¿Qué pasó el sábado? It's like basically saying, what happened on Saturday, kind of giving me a hard time. And then we're talking about the match, and he was saying, what the problem is that Barca, we have Iniesta, and we have Xavi, and we have these really good offensive midfielders. And Real Madrid, you're lacking that. Like, you don't have these creative midfielders that we have, and that's kind of the reason that you're losing against us. Would you agree with that statement?
I wouldn't completely agree with that, but then it's always good to have creative midfielders who can actually decide a game with that one pass of theirs. Xavi, for instance, just imagine a game which is deadlocked, 0-0, and one pass of Xavi, a brilliant pass of Xavi finds Messi, and Messi does the rest. So I think it's always good to have a player who can really decide that game with that one incisive pass of his.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But I wouldn't say that our midfielders are bad. They are also world class. But then they should just start performing consistently.
Right. So it's kind of a question of Ozil getting into form and maybe also Kaká recovering. Is that it?
Yeah. True. I think Ozil has been very, very disappointing. He has been really disappointing thus far. He needs to get better. He needs to start playing better. And Kaká also, I'm not very sure about him. Whatever little I've seen of him, I've not been really, really convinced. So I think probably we can buy someone in January who can dominate the midfield and who can really control the midfield.
Okay, so speaking of the midfield, what did you think of Lass's performance? He was also there again, playing again. I mean, for me, I thought he seemed to seemed to recover a lot of balls, and he seemed to be somewhat active in the match. What did you think?
Okay, I think Las Diarra has been playing consistently. but I thought he should have done better against Sevilla. He was booked also. But then I thought he should have done better. I wanted to see more of him, against Sevilla.
So maybe it was also partially his fault that the midfield was kind of a bit chaotic. Or
yeah, you can probably say that. Yes.
Okay. Also, then we had the sending off of Pepe, excuse me. And did you think the second yellow card was fair? Because I saw the replay and it just kind of seemed like he was kind of just running, moving his arms when he was running, and it didn't really look like it didn't look intentional when he hit the other player. What did you think of that?
Yeah, I saw the replay, quite a few times, and I thought the standing off was really, really, really harsh. There was absolutely no malice, and I think the referee made a very big mistake by sending him off.
It's kind of like everybody expects Pepe to be aggressive, and they almost, kind of jump to send him off or give him a card, or do you know what I mean? It's like he has a bad reputation.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Pepe is a soft target because of his reputation,
Yeah.
And I thought the referee just got carried away a little because of the reputation and just sent him off, and it was never a sending off. It was never a second yellow card, for that foul. I don't even think that was a foul actually.
Okay. And did you see the replays where Ronaldo was pushed? I mean, he was literally pushed by their player down on the ground, and there was no foul or anything called on both of those pushes.
Yeah, I did see the replays, and I thought the referee was not consistent, These days, there's a lot of pressure on the referees, but they are professionals and they get paid to do their job, and in the Premier League also, some of the referees have been making blunders, so to say. So I think the referees, they need to do a better job, And the referee against Sevilla, I thought he was just all over the place. He was really poor on that particular night.
Yeah, the Spanish refs seem to make a lot of mistakes. I don't know if this is like a thing that happens here or it happens everywhere. I don't watch a lot of football in other leagues, but I have noticed a lot of mistakes in Spain.
Yeah, well, it happens in the Premier League also.
Yeah.
The referees, the referees get a lot of stick from the fans, and I don't know. I just fail to understand, how they can make such terrible mistakes. I remember Tottenham against Stoke City, which was played very recently. The referee gave a penalty to Tottenham, and after the penalty was actually converted. And after that penalty, there were at least 3 more penalties, The players, they were just handling the ball literally. And the referee saw it. I'm quite sure about it. He did see it. But then he just refrained from giving the second penalty. I don't know, for some reason or the other. I don't know. So I think the referees, they have to be brave, They have to be brave. And they just need to do what is written in the law and what is right for the game.
Yeah, they're human, I guess. They give in to pressure.
True. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on them.
Okay, so we seem to have a lot of trouble on Saturday night with the free kicks, corners, basically kind of the dead ball situations. Why do you think that was? Because normally I don't think we have that much trouble with other teams in those situations.
Yeah, I thought we did have a little bit of trouble, as you said. I thought we need to I thought we did not mark the Sevilla players as we should have marked them, We need to start marking players better, especially in the 6-yard box. We just need to man mark players better. And our center backs also, Pepe and Ramos, they're quite tall and they can mark the players and they can just head the ball away. So they should start doing that, and they should just start marking players better.
Okay, did you notice that in other matches also, or was it more last night?
I also noticed, I think it was against, not against Barcelona for sure. I have noticed it, earlier also, wherein our marking wasn't particularly good, So the same has actually come back to haunt us. I don't remember against which team, but then I remember we did not mark the player and he just scored against us. I'm failing to remember it actually right now, but then it has happened in the recent past.
Okay. Okay, so Ronaldo got another hat trick. He had an awesome goal that we commented before. How good was his game? Do you think he kind of, in fact, shut people's mouths? Do you think there's a reason to criticize him? What's your take on Ronaldo?
Yeah, I thought Ronaldo was amazing against Sevilla. He scored a cracker of a goal. Way from way outside the box. The ball just moved like a balloon and beat the keeper. And I think the criticism can be justified, because he doesn't turn up against big teams, which he should start doing. If you look at his performance against Barcelona, he was nobody on the pitch. He did not do anything. So if he can turn up in big games, his reputation can surely get better. And I don't see a reason why he cannot do that.
Okay, so if you had the choice of a 3-point advantage, which we have, or a victory over Barca and going into the winter break with no advantage, what would your choice be?
Well, I would surely take a 3-point lead, because what matters the most is winning the league. I've said this in the last Q&A also. You can get beaten by Barcelona and you can still win the league. You need not beat Barcelona to win the league. So I would say we have a 3-point lead now, and we have been playing well. We did get beaten, by Barcelona, but then if we can just play consistently and if we can just keep on winning all our matches, I don't see a reason why we cannot win the league this season.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, I'd much rather have the 3-point advantage, and I don't care if we lose to Barca twice and we still win the league. It doesn't matter to me. The important thing is winning the trophy. I was on ESPN forums and people are still talking about the Clásico, and there are a lot of Barca fans who are bragging and saying, "Oh, Barca is so much better than Madrid, this and that," and I'm just like, "Hey, look, we've scored more points. I mean, we're winning basically. So it's just one match. It's not a big deal. Even in the Champions League, we had a better performance than Barca. So I mean, really, Real Madrid has performed better than Barca basically everywhere so far this year. So I think we're still doing pretty well.
Yeah, we are doing pretty well, but then what we should do now is we should be consistent, we should just keep on winning, now, because now there's no scope of dropping points, because Barcelona are hot on our heels, and they're surely going to put pressure on us, so we should just keep winning all our matches now.
Okay, so as Gaëlle usually says, I'm going to say the same thing as Gaëlle. I'm not an expert on analyzing games or anything. So these are just some questions that I thought of when I was watching the match. Is there anything that you noticed that you wanted to comment?
Yeah, I did notice one really important thing. The first goal that Navas scored. I thought Ramos should have done better. He should have been tighter on Navas, whereas he was not, and he just gave him a lot of space, and Navas just made the most of it. So I think our defenders, they need to get close on players. Don't give them space to shoot. Even if you give half a yard, they'll surely make the most of it. So that half a yard you shouldn't give them. Just close them down as quickly as you can. And I thought the first goal was Ramos's mistake. Had he been tighter, Navas wouldn't have scored it. And I also just read that Sergio Ramos is going to be out for a couple of weeks. He has picked up a hamstring injury.
Right.
So yeah, I hope he returns quickly, and he just gets tighter on players when he returns.
So we've given up 5 goals in the last 2 games. Is our Ramos-Pepe combination still awesome at the back, or are they slipping?
I think Ramos and Pepe they do combine very well. Just these small things, if they can just take care of these things, I think they're really good. Both of them are really good, and they make a great pair as well at the back.
Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to comment on?
Nothing. I thought the game against Sevilla was a really good one, and we scored 6 goals, and Ronaldo finally proved his critics wrong. So I thought it was a really good win.
Yeah, I was happy too. So let's just keep winning, right?
Yeah, let's just keep winning, and let's just win the La Liga this season.
Okay, well, thank you, Apakshit, and thanks everyone for listening, and hopefully we'll have Gaëlle back for the next one. So,
Thank you so much.
Until next time, bye.
This was a Madridismo.org production. Welcome to another Q&A session for the best club in history, Real Madrid, hosted by Gaëlle. This is a Madridismo.org production.
Hello everybody, this is Javier. Gaëlle isn't here today because she's really busy and she can't do the Q&A session. So I'm going to do kind of an informal Q&A with Apakshit. Hello Apakshit.
Hello there.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you so much.
Okay, so how did you feel about the game on Saturday night?
Casillas played a huge role, and I also thought that we did really well.
Yeah, those stops in the beginning really kind of could have completely changed the game, no? If Sevilla had scored in the beginning.
Yeah, true. We were just 1-0 up, and Casillas, he just pulled off a world-class save. He just stretched his body to the very maximum, and what an amazing save it was.
Okay, so what did you think of Sevilla's strategy against us? I read somebody saying before that Sevilla kind of parked the bus against Barca, and it worked for them. They got a tie, but against us, Sevilla came out attacking, and
playing the way they played. Especially at home, teams do tend to play the way Sevilla played. They wanted to win. It was clear for us to see. But then the only thing which they should always keep in their mind is that defensively they have to put in 110%, especially against a team like Real Madrid, because we have players who can hit the teams on the counter, and the breathtaking pace with which we go forward is just amazing to see, So I thought there was nothing wrong in the way Sevilla played against us, but
well, it didn't work, obviously.
Yeah, I thought that the strategy did not work for them. They were playing at home and they wanted to win. But I thought defensively they were really poor, which was why we scored 6 goals. Not that we did not play well. We did play very well. But then I thought the defending was really bad.
Okay. Do you think a team like Sevilla should play this way against us? Or it's smart for them to park the bus and be defensive?
Well, I thought there was nothing wrong in. I thought we played really well. We put 6 goals past Sevilla, and I thought it was a fantastic victory for us. But I thought the goal that we conceded, especially the first goal, was a cheap one. We should not have conceded that. And we should also thank Casillas for making saves after saves for us. I remember we were just 1-0 up, and he just pulled off a world-class save. And had Sevilla scored, psychologically, I thought the players would have got a boost, and the result could have been different. So I thought